For more, let's welcome in renowned theoretical physicist, Harvard professor, and head of the Galileo Project, Avi Loeb. Avi, thank you so much for taking the time tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Mills just laid it all out. More than 162 files released. That includes videos, photos, sound, transcripts. I know personally, and I'm a professional reporter, it was overwhelming to me. I can't imagine what it's like for the rest of the public. But what about you, who has that experience and has that knowledge? What really stood out to you from what was released?
Well, I felt like a kid in a candy store in a way, because there are lots of intriguing pieces of information there, dating all the way back to a letter in 1947 to the U.S. Air Force Chief of Staff talking about flying discs. But the actual imagery, part of the information there was redacted, as you can see on the screen right now. And therefore, when I discussed it with my research team of the Galileo project on Friday, it was difficult to assess what the camera is doing, what is it attached to, how fast the object is moving. You know, these are details that are required in order to ascertain whether the object is moving in a way that it cannot be consistent with human-made technologies. Moreover, the Apollo images that we're looking at, they could be a result of flashes of light from impacts on the surface of the moon by asteroids. In fact, the Artemis 2 astronauts did notice 6 such flashes, or what we are seeing might be some artifacts of the reflection in the optics of the camera. What's clear is that the Artemis 2 crew took thousands of photographs and didn't find any lights orbiting the moon right now. So I would not take too seriously the moon shots that we have. But altogether, this is the first step, and presumably in the coming weeks and months, we'll get the more interesting data, because that requires more layers of bureaucracy for it to be declassified.
Yeah.
And I very much salute President Trump for releasing these files.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing from everyone I'm talking to. More than anything, just happiness that President Trump is taking the steps. And it's interesting to think that perhaps there is an explainable solution for everything. As you mentioned, perhaps it's impacts on the lunar surface from various objects. It wasn't just images, right? It's also video and sound bites, including this one from the Gemini mission back in 1965. That's where you'll hear astronauts reporting to see a mysterious object to mission control. Listen to this.
Bogey at 10 o'clock high.
This is Houston. Say again, 7?
So we have a bogey at 10 o'clock high.
Is that the booster, or is that an actual sighting?
What?
Say again, 7?
Okay, we have several, looks like the 3 up here, actual sighting. It looks like hundreds of little particles going by to the left out about 3 to 4 miles.
I mean, that's fascinating. He calls them bogeys. Obviously, we know pilots typically use that term when talking about other aircraft in the air. I know you're probably not going to have the answer to this, but I mean, do we have any explanation for that, or are we just left to sort of speculate on our own? Or do you think perhaps this is proof that there is extraterrestrial life out there and that they just saw it in that moment?
No, it's definitely not proof, because we don't have enough information. It could be, for example, meteor fragments. It could be space trash, that obviously could have flown by, or, and the flashes of light that were reported by some astronauts, they could be related to cosmic rays. We really need more data, better information to assess whether something is clearly unexplainable by natural or human-made objects.
So is it fair to say that you have more questions than answers at this point? I mean, I hate to put you on the spot and try to get a solid answer for you, but I know I certainly do. It's great that we're watching these videos and seeing these pictures, but I'm not sure it answered any of my questions.
Right. Yes, definitely. I have more questions. And, that's the process of science, where you are trying to get more evidence, perhaps by new data that will be collected. The important thing is it brings the conversation to the mainstream of public discourse, the mainstream of science. And now we have data that we can look into, and also in the future, and then try to assess what the data means. And, that is the best approach to do it, because it's not a matter of opinion or it's not a philosophical question. It's just a question of good enough data to demonstrate that we're looking at something beyond this Earth.
Professor, I'm glad that you have optimism and you're commending the administration for their transparency, but I am hearing from other experts out there that studied this for decades who talk about the threats that whistleblowers face and even their own concerns that there is still going to be gatekeepers out there that are really preventing the American public from knowing the full truth. Thankfully, we have an administration that's promising it, but maybe even they're being held back from the truth. Do you share that same concern that there are other people out there that know more that will not allow that information to come out?
Well, I had a conversation with the leadership of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office in the Pentagon, and they stated clearly that they are all in to fulfill the wish of President Trump. And I don't see evidence at this time for anyone within the administration trying to sabotage the process. And so let's just wait and see what comes out. The best is yet to come.
Yep, and that's another thing I hear. The things that are going to be coming after this are only going to continue to blow our mind. Renowned theoretical physicist and Harvard professor Avi Loeb, thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.